I recently spoke with a Facebook marketing expert, one of those reps from Facebook that sends you emails telling you they've got all kinds of awesome ideas and ways that you can optimize and improve your Facebook advertising. So I've been getting those emails for a long, long time, many years, and at the moment I had an issue with Facebook ads that I was hoping they could solve. So I scheduled a call, and well, in this video I'm going to share my opinion of my experience with a Facebook marketing expert, what they suggested for me, why it did or did not work, all of that stuff. So first of all, you all have gotten these emails. If you're here and you run Facebook ads, you certainly have gotten emails like this one right here, saying basically, hey, I'm the Facebook marketing expert assigned to your account, blah, 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 schedule a call with me, right? And they are intended to invoke urgency. It's very clear in all the emails that they send. They want to invoke urgency to get you on that phone call. Like they have an incentive for some reason to get you on that call. And you can see it here in this message. Schedule a call this coming week, right? As my calendar is filling up very quickly to go over Q2 goals and optimizations. Oh my, some middle management jargon right there. And then down here in big bold font, I did want to note that I find some account discrepancies that do cause some concern that I would like to address as soon as possible, right? So this is a real trigger for people that have an agency running their ads or have some type of employee in-house that's running their ads. They make it seem like, okay, whatever's happening with your ads is causing some concern and I want to schedule a call with you, right? So I went ahead and scheduled a call with them because I had a problem, and that was new ads in my account were not running. Simply, you could create new ads, you could create new campaigns, new ad sets, whatever it was that you had, and it just turned them on and they would just not run and not spend any money at all. So I got on this call and I'm like, hey, look, you guys want me to spend more money, right? It's certainly in your best interest if I spend more money. I'm trying to create ads here and they're just not running. And that's what I wanted, or was hoping the marketing expert would be able to solve, provide some, not some insight, but a solution. It kind of went through everything on my end and there was no logical reason why it wasn't. It had to be a technical glitch. And ultimately the marketing expert suggested that I tried duplicating my campaigns, duplicating my ads. I'm like, well, look, you can see the history here. I've been doing this. This was something I've been troubleshooting for months. And then he suggested, this was hilarious, let them run longer. And I'm like, well, this campaign has been on here for a month and it's not making any impressions. Okay, well, duplicate it. Okay, well, maybe it's an audience issue then if that's not working. I'm like, well, no, this audience has 27 million people in it here and it's working in these campaigns that, are older and have been running, but now it's not, right? And he had no explanation for it and ultimately was not able to solve it in any way. So I basically just kind of had to go with the road that I didn't want to go down, which is basically just creating a new ads manager account. Not basically, that's what I did. I created a new ads manager account. So, the Facebook marketing expert here was not able to solve my problem at all. Anyways, I'm going to come back to this. Let me just share some of my other thoughts and opinions on the Facebook marketing experts. Do they actually help and add value here? Well, first, right off the get-go, it was very clear to me that Facebook marketing experts, or the one I had very little experience, like very little actual real world business experience and very little experience with the platform. He wasn't really clear on how I could navigate around it and the questions that I had. When I said things, like, hey, we've done this and duplicated it and done all this stuff already, he basically just re-suggested the same things that I had already tried. So yeah, right off the get-go, it seems like they are kind of filling these marketing expert positions with entry-level candidates. They are not giving, true marketing experts, or they're not putting true marketing experts in there that understand business and understand your business and understand the need for conversions and customer acquisition value and all that stuff, or people that have a high level of funnels. They're just kind of filling people in there and giving them the crash course in Facebook ads, saying, hey, go out there and get these people on a phone call. Next up, Facebook reps have no magic sauce. This was very clear back here in my problem. They were not able to do anything that was outside of the actual functionality of the ads manager there on my screen, right? Their actual limitation was telling me how to use that ads manager. They could not go beyond that. They could not go in and solve a technical issue. They could not do anything else. What they did say when they have a technical issue, and they did this for me, is they're like, well, we'll create a support ticket. And I'm like, well, I already created a support ticket. I can already do that on my own, and they were absolutely helpless in it as well. So they have no magic sauce beyond the basic Facebook training documentation, which seems like they're using the same publicly available information as everybody else, as you can find online. They have very little experience, and they can't actually do anything. All right. So let me talk about, because I've been talking about this in context of the problem I had. I was looking for a solution. I also wanted to hear, what their big, what is it? I think they had some ideas in here. What their big ideas for high-level optimization strategy and scaling tactics were, right? So, we moved on the conversation to that, and here's what they suggested. All right, they suggested to optimize for reach instead of conversions. Okay, so most of my ads are targeting conversions specifically. That's what I want. We've got conversion values established. I am just really into conversions, and I don't want to say I'm really into it, but I understand the value of a conversion and how much it costs me on Facebook ads, how much revenue it brings in, etc. I optimize for conversions, and quite frankly, I will say that basically every other objective, like link clicks, reach, awareness, all that stuff, is basically just like pulling a slot machine lever to give Facebook money. There's no direct traceable response. I like conversions because there's a direct traceable response, and well, that works well for me, and I spend tens of thousands of dollars a day. Literally, most days I spend over $10,000 a day on Facebook ads. If you go back, or not go back, but if you go into the spring and early summer months, that number is up there about $30,000 a day. So I'm no amateur is what I'm saying, and you can see a clear demonstration of that throughout my other videos here on YouTube, right? And I'm optimizing for conversions, right? And they're saying, the Facebook rep, this was hilarious, he said, I think that you should try optimizing for reach. You might do a little better with that. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't say it like that. That's what I was saying in my head. I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. That basically goes against everything that Facebook publishes in their documentation on how to use the platform. They say, you should go for, non-exact words, you should go for the most valuable event that you can track. And for me, that's a conversion. So why would I optimize for reach? That goes against everything that Facebook publishes. And he's like, well, I'm not necessarily saying it's going to work. I'm just saying this is something you could try that might work. I'm like, okay, right? So he basically just backpedaled out of this right here, or out of what he suggested. And, at that point, it became pretty much clear to me that the primary goal of their reps is to get you to try things. This leads to more spending, okay? So they give you a bunch of suggestions and things that you can try. And quite frankly, I think they're very low-level things that you can try that are not going to lead to any more revenue, or revenue for you. It leads to revenue for them, because the more that you try, the more you ultimately spend. And if you've ever screwed around in Facebook Ads Manager, and if you're here, you have, you know how easy it is to get carried away with spending. You're like, all right, I'm going to set off a campaign at $20 a day. And you're like, ooh, well, I got this idea. Maybe this will do better. So I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to wait a week, then I'll turn on this one. And you're like, nah, never mind. I'm just going to run both of them. Now you got two campaigns spending $20 a day. You just increased your spend by 100%. You doubled it, right? And then you try something else, right? And so it's like you go in there and your budget was low, like $20 a day or something. Next thing you know, you've got 6 campaigns and 3 ad sets running, and then you've got it up to like 200. And then, before you close out your ads manager, you're like, holy shit, I'm set at $200 a day here. So I'm going to cut a few things off, and now you're down at 150 or 160, which is still more than the 20 a day you went in there to spend, right? You know what I'm talking about here. The more things you're trying inside of the ad account, the more money you ultimately spend. And I believe that Facebook knows that, and I believe that that is the ultimate goal of Facebook reps. So no, I have not seen Facebook reps actually add any value or actually help anyone. To me, it's pretty clear, in my opinion, their goal is to get you trying things, which ultimately leads to spending more money. Let me ask you this. What has been your experience with the Facebook marketing experts? Drop it in the comments. Have they actually given you insight and value that has helped you? Let me know in the comments below, guys.